I'm too positive to be doubtful, too optimistic to be fearful. So all my time I spend cheerful, and I know exactly what I'm here for. I'm too positive to be doubtful, too optimistic to be fearful. So all my time I spend cheerful, and I know exactly what I'm here for. I'm too positive to be doubtful, too optimistic to be fearful. So all my time I spend cheerful, and I know exactly what I'm here for. I'm too positive to be doubtful, too optimistic to be fearful. So all my time I spend cheerful, and I know exactly what I'm here for.
What it do? It's your boy, Dragon Ball Art 92, and I'm back with another BAM reaction video. And yesterday we actually did a reaction video to Ultra Vegito loses his arm. And that was a good video, man. I enjoyed doing that video with y'all. Um, Today we're gonna be doing a reaction video to the next episode. And this one is actually called Ultra Vegito kills two angels with one shot. Ooh. You know this about to be a good one. But before we get to the content today, you guys, make sure you hit that like button today as you come in. And if you're new here, I want to thank you for coming by and enjoying content with us today. You are the great ones. You are the great ones. You are the great ones. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and become a part of the Dragon Ball Art family. You dig? Over here, we have a good time watching and doing reaction videos. Now, with all that being said, let's get to the content. You dig?
Time on Dragon Ball Super, Ultra Vegito had killed Sidra, but immediately then found himself on the back foot after Kusu, the Angel of Universe 10, suddenly arrived and cut off his arm, leading to the now heavily damaged Vegito to run to a nearby planet, only for him to be found instantly. And now in today's manga, with just one arm, drained of energy and with severe blood loss, we'll find out just what Ultra Vegito is truly capable of. But before we begin, join the now over 900 members on our Patreon, where they see daily exclusive early previews of the Ultra Vegito story, discuss and contribute towards its narrative, and even in higher tiers, get to see the next parts to the story early. Yes, the next chapter to this story is already up there as we speak. Click the link in the description if interested, and enjoy. So our story continues with Ultra Vegito standing in fear, still only with one arm leaking blood even as we speak, and behind him the same dual angels who have just inexplicably hunted him down even in the darkest of caves. But soon the fear and panic of Vegito's face switches back to anger and annoyance at the situation as he thinks to himself, I was kidding myself if I thought I could outrun two angels. Each of their staffs can probably tell where I am at any given moment. I can't lie, this is bad. With my energy this low, coupled with the blood loss, I'm completely outmatched. There's only one way out of this.
Yeah, Vegito's in a tough spot right now. He got to really figure out how he go get himself out of this situation. So now he's in a position to where he has to use his brain more than his muscles. Let's see what happens.
And having thought this, to our surprise as an audience, within Vegito's last remaining arm, a shining ball of energy begins to form in the palm of his hand. And just like that, Vegito suddenly throws a noticeably unimpressive beam of energy seemingly straight at the angels. But surely, this couldn't be what he meant as a way out. Similarly, the petite angel Kusu watches on with a truly conceited smirk as she stares at the oncoming beam and comments, Well, Mojito, would you look at that? How far the mighty have fallen.
You see how cocky the Angels is right now? That can actually turn against them in a sense, because when you're cocky, you're not thinking that the opponent or whoever you're matching up against is going to defeat you, and they can outsmart you when you're in that type of situation.
What?
You want to always be prepared mentally and physically. But let's see what happened, bro, because Vegito is pretty weak right now. I mean, to be honest with you, and that energy blast ain't gonna do nothing to them. So I kind of understand why they're cocky. But let's see where this goes.
Does he really think that level of attack will do anything to us? How pointless. Sister, what did... But to the shock of both the angel and us, the beam suddenly shifts directions mid-flight, shooting instead straight into the air, missing the confused angels by mere inches. At first, Kusu remains suspicious, commenting, "That's Sly saying, Mojito, stay on guard, he's probably planning to attack us from the front now." But unexpectedly, the beam hits the ceiling of the cave with impact, instantly breaking apart the very foundations of what held the cave together. What the? No! Mojito, move! But in the darkness of the cave...
Smart move. Bury them in rocks so he can get away. Hey, man. Hey. Mind over matter. Real talk, bro. That was clever.
The entire structure then begins to collapse on top of the divine creatures, as Vegito shoots out at the last second with speed, his two fingers now placed on his forehead, ready to do only one thing, as he thinks, "Got him. That should slow them down just enough for me to get my arm back and leave this damn universe. I just need to remember where that arm was. There should still be some energy traces left over there." Now, as his body begins to vanish, Vegito yells out, "Got it! It's still over there! Thank God those damn angels left it alone!" And just like that, Ultra Vegito...
That was kind of stupid of the angels to do. They should have grabbed the arm while they had the chance instead of just leaving it lingering.
What?
Now, Brandon got the opportunity to get it back, and he got getting all the rings back, bro. That wasn't smart of them, bro. It really wasn't. But hey, it is what it is, bro. Vegito then outsmarted them again. Crazy work.
Vegito appears instantly back in the emptiness of space, now right next to his severed arm, yelling out, "There you are, little buddy! Give me those rings!" As Vegito reaches towards them, a smile appears across the Saiyan's face as he realizes, "Without any oxygen in space, my arm is still in perfect condition. All I have to do is get this to someone fast, and I can reattach it in no time." But suddenly, in the classic style of Vegito's turmoil-filled life, he suddenly notices something behind him. Something not animate, but dangerous nevertheless. What? And to his and our shock, right below Vegito, as if following him, is a massive beam of energy, enough to vaporize anyone. There's barely any time though, as the key beam becomes so close it is now near undodgeable in Vegito's current state, as his entire body soon now becomes engulfed in the light, only leaving him to mutter helplessly, "No, where is this coming from?" And just like that,
He was this close. He was this close, bro. He was this close. And we already know where it's coming from. You know the angel sent that blast up there. I mean, we can't underestimate the angels and say that rocks were just going to defeat them or something. You feel me? But I didn't think they was going to be able to shoot a blast up there that fast because he got up there instantaneously. You know what I'm saying? So it's quite interesting, man. So let's see if this kills him.
Vegito is completely trapped as the blast covers his entire body, not exploding, but instead shooting past him as if Vegito wasn't even the primary target. As the beam eventually leaves the vicinity into the depths of space, Vegito slowly moves his arm from covering his face. He's now slightly more damaged than before, but hardly near death, as expected, as he comments, "It's over. That was all. Maybe I've overestimated these damn angels. They might have been weakened just as much as I have after all this time. That attack was pathetic. But regardless, I'm still getting my arm first and... No! No! But soon the...
Wait, they didn't even try to destroy him, bro. They just got rid of his arm, bro. He a permanent one-arm bandit.
What?
Nah, but for real, bro, they outsmarted him. This is going back and forth, bro. This is actually a very entertaining fight, man. You know, because it's not just battling with the fist, man. It's battling of the minds too. You know, who go outsmart who?
real aim of that blast is revealed, as not even a trace of Vegito's severed arm remains, now having been completely reduced to nothing but dust, including the many rings that were on them too. How dare you! Who did this? Immediately causing the few Saiyan to roar in unkempt rage, his plans and hopes to regain his limb now completely shattered and because of a stray energy blast. But soon, some common sense comes back to Vegito as he looks down at the planet below, realizing it's the exact direction the beam came from. For a moment, he thinks in his mind silently, it couldn't be the angels. They couldn't have freed themselves so fast. There's nothing down there. What on earth could have done this? But as Vegito looks down and the scene begins to zoom in, his worst fears are brought to light as from the surface of the planet, exactly where the beam had come from, lay two familiar figures. Two figures who only bring back fury into Vegito's heart, knowing the gods had robbed him once more of his happiness as he grumbles internally. You damn angels! I may have lost my arm, but I promise you will lose everything in return. No matter what depths I have to fall. But standing tall on the surface of the planet, just to confirm Vegito's eyesight, is Mojito with a smirk and his arm outreached.
They figured that they got him. they pretty much figured they outthought him. But in my opinion, they should have actually tried to kill Vegito instead of going after his arm. Now he has a chance to retaliate, which could backfire on them. It really could. But let's see if they really outsmarted him.
And his palm still smoking from where he had just been the one to blast that earlier key beam. As the equally smiling Kusu comments next to him, "Nice shot, brother. You haven't lost your touch at all. Just look at his face. The fool should know by now. He's not going anywhere as long as we're around. Wherever he goes, wherever he hides, he will never stand a chance against us, let alone father, with him being a cripple now. Poor mortal." While Mojito adds on, "It's true, this Vegito's power was overwhelming before, but with the energy he's wasted so far, and with just one arm, he's back to being nothing more than a Universe 7 lowlife. It's a shame we had to destroy a time ring, but robbing this demon of one of his limbs is priceless." Kusu, though, being the older sister and wiser, then responds cautiously, but still with a smile. "It may be true he's significantly weaker now, but don't let your guard down, Mojito. You know he's been holding back, right? This form he's been using against you is not what he used against Lord Rumchi and the Supreme Kai."
At least she's smart enough to understand that Vegito ain't went all in. So at least they're aware. So I wonder what they got planned, because if destroying the arm was their plan, that was a bad plan, bro. Y'all need to come up with something better. Let's see.
I watched it all go down on my staff. He'll be down here soon to face us at his full power, I'm sure of it. We can just wait here. He won't run, not now that we've hurt his fragile ego. Huh? Which immediately piques Mojito's concern as he softly queries back. This isn't his final form. What has he been hiding? And so be it! I don't even need a second arm to destroy you, brats! As instantly, just as Kusu had worried, Ultra Vegito finally decides enough is enough and powers up to his Ultra form, combining Goku's mastered Ultra Instinct and Vegeta's perfected Ultra Ego, losing his eyebrows, gaining dark purple hair down the sides of his locks, and now dark black flames that burst forth from his body. And now from above, looking down on the planet ironically like a god himself, he opens his palm towards the planet and thinks, it hurts me deeply to do what a god of destruction does, especially emulating exactly what Sidra did to me.
Well, they put, okay, it's kind of like playing pool, right? And your opponent is trying to get, some of their balls into the holes and stuff, right? And you're on the 8 ball, and they end up hitting the 8 ball closer to the pocket, so that way you can make your move and win the game. That's basically what the Angels did to Vegito. Now he's in a position to get rid of them without even having to fight them for real. He's just about to erase them. I told you that stuff can, that cocky confidence can put you in a situation where you lost the game.
But this is the only fitting way to end this. The perfect, ironic ending for two pathetic angels who think they know my every move. And with a commanding look and voice, he then shouts down, I hope you damn angels are enjoying it down there, because you will not be leaving. You took everything from me and now found a way to take even more. Well played, but the winner here will always be me! As from the depths of space, way above the mystery planet, Ultra Vegito instantly powers up a humongous ball of Hakai energy that begins to dwarf even his own body, and can be used only to perform one action. What? Mojito, up there! Which ultimately strikes fear even into the once confident Kusu, as she realizes what this looks like and comments, He wouldn't. Is he planning to erase this entire planet and every mortal on it just to get rid of us? Surely not, Mojito. But Mojito, who knows Vegito's motives well, remains completely calm and informs his sister, it's a bluff, Kusu. This mortal just screamed and yelled at Lord Sidra for erasing.
I don't think they were paying attention to the planet when they got on there. When Vegito first got on the planet, he recognized there was no life force on the planet. That means there is no mortals on the planet. He already knew that, bro. They popped, especially if they believe what they're saying. Cold piece of work.
Basil's planet just to get him. His very goal is to punish us gods forever ruling and choosing which mortals live and die in our universes. So I can assure you, there isn't even a chance he would do the same for the sake of us. That is, of course, unless he wants to become the very thing he hates. It's an impossibility. Just look around. All this life... Huh? Wait, but suddenly something dawns on Mojito as he looks around side to side on the planet and finally notices the very first observation made when Vegito...
It's over with for these Angels. It's over. Game over. Game over. They lose. Man, if this was like a Street Fighter match, bro, or a Street Fighter tournament or something like that, bro, they would have got knocked out real quick, bro. Weaklings.
Landed on this planet. There is no life force on this chunk of rock. Nothing but empty landscape. Kusu,
Now.
I may have made a mistake here. While the equally paralyzed in fear sister mumbles back, "No, don't tell me. Don't tell me he planned this. Did he lure us here, or did we force him down here? Vegito, who is this mortal? I am the God Killer."
See, they don't even recognize the choices they made that put them in that situation. They're the ones that knocked them into that planet in the first place. No, actually, no. He fled to that planet. You're right. But he was hoping that there was mortals there so he can hide. So all that wasn't done intentionally. It was the stars had lined up for him.
Kai! And with the most ferocious yell Ultra Vegito has ever given in history, he screams with a one-handed Hakai that looks almost like a throwback to Team Gohan's one-handed Kamehameha. Just so that on the surface, the massive Hakai reaches instantly to the feet of Kusu and Mojito. So fast that Ultra Instinct or not, there was no dodging or escaping this one, as the destructive energy rips through the entire landscape, making the two angels now appear like mere ants before it. In a fruitless effort, Mojito turns his back to a...
Hey, why bro trying to run, bro? You can't run from that, bro. Where you running to, bro? You ain't running nowhere, bro. Take a few steps, one, maybe two steps, bro, and you're gone. It's just hilarious, bro. Like, where is he running, bro? Where you gonna go?
Attempt to fly off at full speed, yelling, "Kusu, run! We have to make it off here now!" But the wise young girl knows only to reply, "No, it's over, dear brother." As just like that, as if frozen in time, a testament to just how fast Ultra Vegito performed his planetary level Hakai, both Kusu and Mojito returned to dust, erased forever and never to be seen again. Brother and sister, just two more gods to fall to Ultra Vegito's wrath. And for a moment, the once peaceful but empty planet remains whole, until suddenly, just like that, it too completely vanishes from the universe along with its only two inhabitants. And as the debris and dust of the planet floats off into the never-ending abyss of space, Ultra Vegito stands above, watching coldly as he comments, That was embarrassing! How could two lowly angels like that cause me this many problems? I don't care I haven't rested since training that year with Gogeta. They took my damn arm! I had no control over Whis' staff to be able to heal myself. When these things happen, I'm on my own. Now what the hell do I do? And without saying a word...
I mean, to be honest, that's a good question, because them angels put him through a lot, bro, and for him to find some type of way out of it, bro, is genius. But, this might put a damper in his progress unless he can figure out how to get his arm fixed. Let's see.
More of his plan, if any. He uses his remaining time rings with the last of his power and reaches out his hand yelling, "Take me back to Universe 7! Then opening a massive portal once again to another random timeline. at least assured to be in his own universe. Could this be back to Gogeta to check on what happened with Beerus and Whis, or something else? Even Ultra Vegito couldn't know. And soon enough, we see just the last part of Vegito's leg as he enters into the unknown. And on the other side, Ultra Vegito finally leaves the portal, confused as normal as he seems to enter unfamiliar territory. He's within a cave, but there are remnants of technology all around him. As he looks around, he thinks to himself, "What is this? These time rings must have malfunctioned. I said Universe 7, but this looks nothing like what I'm used to. Is this some kind of far future?" But soon we see a look from the outside. The surroundings sure do look like.
So the rings took him to Dr. Giro's lab, huh? It's quite interesting. And the rings were more accurate than Vegito probably even thought, bro, because he needed an arm. He was going back to Universe 7 for an arm. He specifically said, "Take me to Universe 7, not take me anywhere else specifically." But the rings took him to a doctor. Quite interesting how the stars are lining up for that boy.
Earth. But interestingly, the cave Vegito is in also seems familiar to any OG Dragon Ball Z fans. I need to get away from those fools. I need 17 and 18. As shockingly, we then see a damaged Dr. Gero, aka Android 20, running frantically towards a large metal door. Soon he reaches it and looks up saying, "Ah, finally it's here, my lab." Before then punching in a complex and encrypted code into the door reader, which automatically then finally opens the laboratory door wide open as he yells, "Here we go, I'm almost there. I win this time, Goku." As the elderly android then
He don't even know what he got in store for him, bro. That's quite interesting that he's gonna run into Ultra Vegito. I wonder if he gonna just destroy him or if he gonna utilize his skills. Let's see.
enters excitedly into his lab and immediately begins to think on his next steps, saying, "Right, they shouldn't be able to find my lab for a while. As long as I remain quiet, I can make the necessary adjustments to activate 17 and 18. They will be more than enough. No need to activate 16 just yet. He is still completely untested. His power could prove too strong to control anyway. All I need to do first is..." What? Who goes there? But suddenly, as Dr. Gero thinks, the heightened senses of the android suddenly detect the slight movements of someone nearby. As shockingly, Dr. Gero then turns around and sees none other than Ultra Vegito, standing facing him unflinchingly, still leaking blood onto the floor as Gero yells, "What is the meaning of this? Who are you?" While Ultra Vegito remains deathly silent, at least for now. But that was it for today's video, guys, and if you made it...
Well, it's over with. It's over with, y'all. That was a good video, man. Definitely a good one, man. That boy Ultra Vegito, he found a way to get away from being destroyed by the angels, but he left with some scars, becoming a one-armed bandit. Now he got to figure out a way to get his arm back and then continue on his mission. And it's interesting because he's in a timeline to where, Goku and Vegeta never fused for one, and they're about to be there at the lab. Well, not Goku, but definitely Vegeta and the rest of the crew. So it's going to be interesting how he deals with that. I want to thank you guys for coming by and checking out the video today, man. It was pretty fun. The storyline is great. We're going to continue to go down this storyline so we can see what actually happens. You dig? Because it's really getting interesting. Shout out to RJ. Call me RJ for the content, and life is great. Remember, tell yourself that life is great because it really is, bro. We get a chance to live, think, and be. That is one blessing that you shouldn't take for granted. But that's it for me today, you guys. And y'all know the slogan. Make sure you believe in yourself because ain't nobody else gonna do it, bruh. Dragon Ball Art 92. I'm out, y'all. Deuces.
I'm too positive to be doubtful, too optimistic to be fearful. So all my time I spend cheerful, and I know exactly what I'm here for. I'm too positive to be doubtful, too optimistic to be fearful. So all my time I spend cheerful, and I know exactly what I'm here for. I'm too positive to be doubtful, too optimistic to be fearful. So all my time I spend cheerful, and I know exactly what I'm here for. I'm too positive to be doubtful, too optimistic to be fearful. So all my time I spend cheerful, and I know exactly what I'm here for.